Hey Ken, Patrick Gregoire here. I've been playing with your Primal Prediction 2.0 and I've come up with some handling variations and some small ideas that I think you might appreciate. I know you've been doing this for over 10 years, but you never know, some of it might be helpful or just of interest to you. And so hopefully you enjoy what I'm about to show you and let me know your thoughts. So first of all, when you're going to close the green envelope, it'll be exactly the same as how you taught it. So you put one do not choose in there, close the flap entirely, and put in another do not choose. That's not going to change. But for this, for the red and the blue, for these envelopes are perfect for this. See, I'd have to find these. I'm going to try and find something like this with a long flap, and just the way that these are not completely gummed down, it's beautiful because you can close this on one side, but not completely on the other. Right? So essentially, it's completely closed here, and then it comes out here. So the flap is above this panel here on this side. So when you go to open the envelope, you don't have to reach all the way inside to pull it out. You just have to put your finger here and just pop it open. So it's extra clean when you're going to open it up to pull out that prediction of the do not choose. So that's one little tip that you might want to use. If you're using the paper ball method, I would recommend using a green paper ball because that might consciously make them not want to choose green if they catch on to that, which they probably will never because the ball's been thrown, ages ago. But that's one of the things that you can bring back up. So the green paper ball, if you use that color, as well as the fact that in a handling that I'm going to show you in just a moment, the green envelope is facing the opposite direction from the other two. All right. So if ever they choose green, you say, you were influenced, it was too obvious. I knew you'd choose green because I told you. I love green, I'd paint my house green. If my mom came over, she hates green. In fact, you'll notice that the envelope the green one is facing the opposite direction from the other ones, which is subtle, but it definitely did influence you. In fact, we tossed out a paper ball to choose you, and that paper ball was green, right? So I don't want to influence you, no psychological games, which one do you want, red or blue? So that's a nice thing for the handling that you're going to learn here, where the green envelope is facing the opposite way, and the fact that you can use a green paper ball as just an added bonus that you're already using paper anyway. Alright, so here's what the no angle restriction handling looks like. So you have the three envelopes, red, blue, and green. You talk about all the colors. They choose one. Let's say they choose blue. So you give them the blue envelope. You say, had you chosen red, inside is a message. And I wrote down, do not choose. Inside of the green one, I wrote a message as well. And it says, do not choose. And of course, then they open the blue one and they get a prediction of them choosing the blue envelope as well as what they're wearing. Okay. So here's the handling that I came up with, or sort of found out, that eliminates the need to flash this at a certain moment. So when they choose an envelope, let's say they choose red, in the handling that you taught in the booklet, you had to transfer this to here and open it up. Now, first of all, no one's going to think twice about this, I know, and you've been doing this for a while, but it makes no sense to transfer to there to open it up, right? If you have it here, you would just open it. So, instead of having to do that, because also when you do that, the bigger issue, or the actual issue, is that you're flashing this, so you'd have to keep this towards you. It becomes weird, and maybe you pull that out of your jacket, which again, they probably wouldn't think, but it's nice to not have to be in that situation. So here's what I came up with. You have, this is all from your perspective now, so you have the green envelope like this with the do not choose, and then you have the blue envelope with the way that I close the flap that I taught you, so all closed on the right side, and on the left side it's above that panel, so you have access inside of there, and you turn it so that the flap is to your right, and you flip it over so that the flap is towards the audience. Same thing for the red one, flap to the right and towards the audience. So now, like I mentioned before, the green one will be facing the opposite way. No one will mention it. If they notice it, they might think, he's trying to make me pick that one, and they won't, which is awesome. But if they do pick it, then you can point it out as a subtle influencer. But now you're like this, and essentially they pick an envelope, and this is all just because of angles. So here comes some thinking based off of that, making sure no one would ever see anything. So you have the three envelopes. I wouldn't show them because you might flash. You'd have to keep it here. I don't like that. So you show them, you talk about the red, the blue, and the green, and whichever one they choose, they can take it. If they want the blue, of course, you just sort of switch so you don't show that. You give them the blue, and now here's the neat thing. You don't have to transfer, you don't have to flash that at all. you essentially just square these up and say, had you chosen red, and from your perspective again, you just pull the green back to have just access to this little flap that you put your finger in, pop it open, and then you reach inside. Of course, this flap, I'm really showing you, but this flap would stay like this, and you'd reach inside so no one can see anything, and they're just both right there, right? And so you literally just take the green one, or the one from the green, pull it out. This just closes like this under your arm, and you show do not choose, yeah? And then I like to take the red one like this. I can toss it away or put it under my arm. This one you just reach inside. It's very easy to do. Do not choose, and you're free to reveal the final prediction. Hopefully you enjoy that handling. There's literally nothing to flash, and it looks exactly the same, so I think it's a really neat handling